Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about the grade tab in Google Classroom in the gradebook. Originally, Google Classroom did not have a gradebook, and people complained enough and they added one. So let that be a lesson to you. If there's something that you think is missing from Google Classroom, you can go on the support site for Google and request it, and a lot of times, eventually, it will show up. So when I click on the grades tab, this is what it takes me to. All my students will be down the column here. Right now my only student is Cowboy. All my assignments are across the top. Pretty typical gradebook layout. Using the skinny snowman menu, as some people call this, next to an assignment, you can edit the assignment, which just takes you back to your original assignment settings. The only thing you cannot do when you edit an assignment is set it to make each student a copy. You have to set it to make each student a copy when you originally create the assignment, because that's when the file structure is set up, and it's not something you can change by editing later. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, you can see over here I have the categories that I had set up earlier in my settings video. I can assign a certain number of points to each assignment, the due date, the topic, etc. I can also create or assign a rubric to help me grade it. Other features you'll see, you can either type the grade directly in here on the gradebook, or if you go to the assignment in Classroom, you can grade it for each student there and leave them private comments. This is also nice because you can open the assignment up and view their Google Doc. I really like this interface because I can use these arrows at the top to kind of just thumb through each student's assignment. I don't have to download them, view them, and then grade them. I can just view them right in Google Classroom. And you can make comments either using the Google Docs comment feature, or you can add private comments over here on the right. You can also do a comment bank for things that you find yourself saying a lot. I'll talk about that more when we talk again about assignments. The other thing to keep in mind is you may want to download all of your grades for some reason. Like maybe you want to download them in a spreadsheet because it's easier for you to put them in PowerSchool that way. You can do that in Google Classroom, but it doesn't work the way that you might expect it to. You can't do that from the gradebook tab. You have to go to the actual assignment, either through the gradebook or by clicking on it in the classwork tab. And then using this gear icon up here in the corner, you can download all grades or copy all grades into a Google Sheet. If you choose all grades, it will copy your entire gradebook into a Google Sheet. I will show you that. So it's creating and opening a Google Sheet right now. And what I'll see is both, even though I accessed that from this assignment, both of the assignments are showing up there. So it's a little counterintuitive. Or if you choose download these grades as a CSV, it'll just download the grades for that assignment. Once you have the grades in, it may or may not display an overall grade depending on how you had it set up in your classroom settings. If you remember, in my classroom settings, I did not have it show an overall grade. But if I switch that on, well, it's still saying no grade because I don't have a category on this assignment. Here we go. At some point, it will show an overall grade here. There's some different settings there where it doesn't until there's a certain number of assignments and things. So I'm not sure exactly why it's not showing up. But if you have that feature turned on in your settings, it will show up over here. That's how grades work in Google Classroom. In my second assignments video, I'll show you more about grading and leaving feedback for students on their assignments and what that can look like. But this is the gradebook in Google Classroom.